Actually, no. Later on, after solving many examples, you can solve or balance the equation orally without writing these numbers. But because this is the first time in your life that you want to balance equations, so I prefer to use pencil to erase your mistakes and to write these numbers so that it's easier for you to recheck your answers. Okay, example 2. Imagine that I want to use the same element, sodium, but this time with oxygen to give us sodium chloride. By the way, in the test, I will not ask you to write the product. I will bring this equation as it is in the test, like this, Na plus O2 equals Na2O, and you will just balance it. I mean, you will guess what are the numbers, or you will find what are the numbers before each element, molecule, or compound. That's it. Later on, in grade 9, you will be able to complete the product, then balance it. So, balancing equation according to level 8 or according to grade 8, just restricted by writing the number of the elements, and that's it. Or write the number of the elements or molecules or compounds. Okay. Again, I want to repeat the steps. Pay attention. Step number 1, count the number of the atoms. Again, these steps are not found in your book, so you must understand them from this video. Count the number of the atoms or molecules or compound. Okay, this is 1 and this is 2. Just copy the number, nothing else. Here, 2 refers to sodium. So, how many sodium atoms do we have? 2. Always the number of the atoms is written after the atom, but not before it. Here, we don't have any number, and I told you that if we don't have any number, this means that it's 1. Then, start balancing the equation. Start comparing between the number of the atoms in the reactants and the number of the atoms in the products. You can start with any of these substances. So, in the first equation, we started with sodium. But can I start with the second element, for example, chlorine? Yes, I can. Can I start with oxygen? Yes, I can. It's not important to start balancing from the first element. Now, I will start using oxygen to prove that I can use the arrangement that I want. So, I will not start using sodium. I will start with oxygen. Here, how many atoms of oxygen do we have? We have 2 atoms of oxygen. But here, what is the number of the oxygens here? Of the oxygen atom, I mean? 1. So again, I have to multiply the whole compound, not allowed to multiply only the oxygen atom. I must multiply it all by a number that gives me 2. 1 times what gives me 2? Of course, 2. So, write a big 2 here. This big 2 refers to both Na and O. Type. Again, let me just clean it and write it neatly. So, this is 2. And here we have 2 atoms, and here we have only 1. Type. Again, distribute this 2 to both atoms. Imagine that this is math and you want to expand it. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 times 1 equals 2. So, we have 2 atoms of oxygen and 2 atoms of oxygen. So, the number of the oxygen atoms are balanced. Perfect. Type. Go back to sodium. Here, how many atoms of sodium do we have? We have 4 atoms of sodium. Here we have only 1. So what should I do? Just multiply it by 4. 4 times 1, 4. So 4 with 4 equal, so I have finished my equation. That's it. طب. Is this 4 affect the number of the oxygen atoms here? No, because we have plus here. So this sodium atom is completely separated from the oxygen molecules. We have plus. طيب. Maybe one of the students will ask me, Miss, what will happen if I start balancing the equation using sodium but not oxygen? Okay, I will repeat the same equation. I will start balancing using sodium to show you that the final answer must be the same. Here 4 and here 2. Type. I want to start with sodium. Here 1 and here 2 and here 1 and here 2 as we did before. The number of the sodium atom here is 1 and here is 2. So I have to multiply it by 2. This, here, what I'm doing, I want to repeat the same equation but start balancing using sodium instead of oxygen. But here I multiplied by 2 to gain or to obtain 2 atoms of sodium, and here we already have 2 atoms of sodium. Go to oxygen. Here we have 2, and here we have how many? 1. How can I manage it? Just multiply the whole compound by 2. 2 times 2, 2. 2 times 1, 2. The number of the oxygen atoms here, 2 by 2. So they are balanced. Put as a simple tick, a tiny tick here, just to remind you that you have finished balancing the oxygen atoms. Go to sodium. Here, the number of the sodium atoms, 2 times 2, 4. It was 2, but now they are 4 atoms. But here I put 2 at the beginning, so I have to erase it and put 4. So again, we get the final answer 4, 2, exactly as in the second example. This means that if I want to balance the equation starting with the first element or with the first substance, even if it's an element or compound or whatever, or starting with the second element, it's the same result. In example number 2, we start balancing the equation using oxygen, and here we are repeating the same example but starting with